On November 13th, 1992, the reigning world champion of the super heavyweight division, holder of the WBA, WBC, and IBF belts, 30-year-old Evander Holyfield defended his titles once again, which he had won 2 years earlier. Holyfield became champion after defeating Buster Douglas, who had caused a sensation by knocking out Mike Tyson in his previous fight. Holyfield's opponent that night was the silver medalist of the 1988 Olympics in Seoul, 25-year-old Riddick Bowe, for whom it was his first fight for the World Championship. This fight can be considered as the most serious test in Evander's career. He had moved up to the super heavyweight division from the light heavyweight division, and even though he had already had a dozen fights in the super heavyweight division, he had never faced an opponent of Bowe's caliber before. Holyfield weighed only 93 kilograms at the time, and it was difficult to call him a full-fledged super heavyweight boxer. Bowe was 14 kilograms heavier than him. In the first round, the boxers mainly exchanged jabs, but then Holyfield launched a serious attack and clearly won the round. In the second round, Holyfield increased the tempo, and it was initially evident that Bowe was not prepared for such an active start to the fight. However, by the middle of the second round, Bowe had found his footing, and the second half of the round was very spectacular, because Bowe categorically refused to retreat under the pressure of the champion. In the third round, Bowe looked a little better than his opponent, but Holyfield took the upper hand in the end. Rounds 2 and 3 were very close, but in the fourth round, the advantage was clearly on Bowe's side. In the fifth round, the opponents started an intense fight. Even though Holyfield was small for a super heavyweight, he still had a solid punch. However, Bowe's punches did more damage to Holyfield. From the second to the fifth round, the pace of the fight was quite high, but the sixth round was not very eventful. Holyfield was more active and constantly moved forward, but Bowe was more accurate and harder. In the seventh round, Bowe started powerfully with a long attack, and he attacked Holyfield quite well throughout the round. Holyfield was able to come to his senses only at the end of the round, and although the champion landed several accurate punches, Bowe won the round, taking the lead in the fight. It was the eighth round. Holyfield no longer looked so helpless. He became more active, but it was not enough to win the rounds confidently. In the next round, Holyfield acted at the same pace, but Bowe slowed down his tempo, and the champion, with a slight advantage, won the round. The fight was spectacular and thrilling, but what happened in the 10th round overshadowed everything that had happened before. Bowe rocked Holyfield with a powerful uppercut, and Holyfield barely stayed on his feet. But he had to face an even more difficult task. He had to withstand his opponent's furious attack. Holyfield coped with this task admirably and withstood the extended attack, which took a lot of Bowe's strength. In the second half of the round, Holyfield dominated. This round became the round of the year, and it's one of the most outstanding rounds in the history of heavyweight boxing. Interestingly, the 11th round in this fight was the first 11th round in Bowe's career. Holyfield started the 11th round well, but he was caught by Bowe's left hook. Holyfield could not quickly regain his composure, and Bowe sent him to the canvas with the right punch. It was evident that Holyfield was having a hard time at that moment, but he managed to get up and return to the fight, although not as spectacularly as he had in the previous round. In the end, Bowe won the 11th round. By the beginning of the 12th round, Holyfield was losing 10-8, and he needed only a knockout in the remaining 3 minutes to retain his world champion title. In the final round, Holyfield looked better, but it was only enough for him to win the round, but not the fight. Riddick Bowe won a unanimous decision and became the new world champion in the super heavyweight division. This fight was the first of the legendary trilogy between Riddick Bowe and Evander Holyfield.